Let me paint you a picture. It's 2021. A 19-year-old in his mom's basement throws $500 into a coin with a picture of a dog on it. 3 weeks later, he's got $47,000. He posted on Twitter, it goes viral, and suddenly millions of people with real bills, real mortgages, and real financial anxiety look at that story and think, that could be me. And I get it. I genuinely get it. Because when you're grinding 50 hours a week, watching your paycheck disappear into rent and groceries and subscriptions you forgot you had, a story like that feels like a lifeline. But here's what nobody is telling you. For every one kid who hit it big on a meme coin, there are 10,000 people who lost everything trying to copy him. This is the crypto trap, and it is specifically brutally designed to keep the middle class exactly where they are. Here's the premise of everything we're going to talk about today, and I want you to burn this into your brain. The wealthy use crypto as a boring, long-term store of value. They buy Bitcoin, they hold it, they don't look at it every 20 minutes. It sits in their portfolio the same way a piece of real estate does, as a hard asset that protects their wealth against inflation over time. The middle class? They treat crypto like a lottery ticket. They chase the meme coins, the dog coins, the frog coins, the celebrity-endorsed garbage with zero utility and infinite supply. They pour in money they cannot afford to lose, chasing a miracle, hoping one lucky spin changes their life. And here's the darkest part of this whole thing. That desperate hope, that lottery ticket mentality, is the exact thing keeping them stuck in the rat race forever. Today, we're going to break this entire illusion apart. We're going to look at the psychology, the brutal math, and the actual strategy wealthy people use to build real wealth with crypto. And by the end of this video, you're going to see meme coins for what they actually are. Let's go. Before we talk numbers, we need to talk about you. Specifically, we need to talk about the thing sitting between your ears. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is broke before your wallet is. I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm saying you are human, and the human brain was not designed for modern financial markets. It was designed to hunt, survive, and respond to immediate threats and immediate rewards. Think about it. For 200,000 years, the reward system in your brain was simple. Do the thing, get the result, now. See a berry bush, pick the berries, eat, survive. That's your dopamine system. Immediate action, immediate reward. Now, fast forward to 2025, you're sitting on your couch scrolling Twitter and you see someone post a screenshot. Their $300 Pepe coin investment is now worth $31,000 in 4 days. What happens in your brain? The exact same thing that happened to the caveman seeing the berry bush. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a rational investment opportunity and a dopamine trap. It just sees potential reward. Act now. And the entire meme coin industry is deliberately engineered to exploit this reaction. The rocket emojis, the 1000x incoming posts, the countdown timers on new coin launches, the influencers who just bought whatever token they're being paid to pump. Every single element of the meme coin marketing machine is designed to activate your ancient reward brain and bypass your rational prefrontal cortex. This is called variable reward conditioning. It's the same psychological mechanism behind slot machines, social media likes, and yes, meme coins. The variable part is crucial. It's not that you always win, it's that you sometimes win. And that unpredictability makes the addiction significantly more powerful than a guaranteed reward. Psychologist B.F. Skinner proved this with pigeons in the 1950s. When pigeons got a food pellet every time they pressed a lever, they pressed it calmly and consistently. But when the pellet was delivered randomly, sometimes yes, sometimes no, the pigeons became obsessed. They couldn't stop pressing the lever. You are the pigeon. The meme coin is the lever. And the reason this is so dangerous is that the stakes are so much higher than dopamine. We're talking about people's actual savings, their emergency funds, money they borrowed, money they need. Because people don't gamble on meme coins out of greed alone, they gamble out of desperation. They're stuck in a job they hate. They can't see a path to real financial freedom through the slow, conventional route. A 3% annual raise isn't going to change their life. Saving $200 a month feels pointless. The math of normal wealth building feels hopeless when you're already behind. So when someone offers them a shortcut, a miracle, a 100x return that could wipe out 10 years of struggle in a single trade, their brain doesn't evaluate it rationally, it lunges for it. This is what I call the dangerous illusion of being rich. Not actually building wealth, just the feeling that you're about to. That feeling is the product they're selling you. And as long as you keep buying it, you will stay broke. Okay, feelings aside, let's do the math, because numbers don't lie, and the numbers around meme coins are devastating. I want to start with a concept that most retail investors never understand until it's too late. Market cap. Market cap is simply the price of a coin multiplied by the number of coins in existence, and this number tells you something critical about whether a coin can actually deliver the return you're hoping for. Let's use a real example. Say you find a meme coin. It's trading at $0.0001. You think, this is so cheap. If it gets to even $1, I'm a millionaire. But here's what you're not asking. How many coins exist? If that coin has 1 trillion tokens in circulation, which many meme coins do, then a price of $1 per coin means the total market cap of this dog picture coin would be $1 trillion. That's larger than the GDP of most countries on Earth. It's not going to happen. The liquidity doesn't exist. The buyers don't exist. It is mathematically impossible. But that's not even the cruelest part of the meme coin math. Let me show you what really happens. The average meme coin, after its initial pump, drops between 80 and 99% in value. Let's use 90% as our conservative example. You invest $1,000. The coin drops 90%. You now have $100. Fine. Painful, but survivable, right? Here's where people make the fatal mistake. They hold it. They believe it'll come back. They've seen it happen before, so they wait. What percentage gain do you need to break even? Not 90%. Think about it. If $1,000 became $100, you need to 10x your money just to get back to zero. That's a 900% gain. 900%. On a coin that already collapsed. On a coin with no product, no utility, and a team that's probably already sold their allocation. Because here's the other thing nobody tells you about meme coins. The people creating them, they're not investing, they're exiting. This is called the exit liquidity trap. When an insider team creates a meme coin, they hold a massive percentage of the supply. They create hype, they get influencers to post it, the price pumps, retail investors, you, pile in, providing the money the insiders need to sell their holdings at a profit. Your buying is literally their exit. And once they've sold, the artificial demand disappears, the price craters, and you're left with a worthless JPEG of a cartoon animal. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is how the mechanism works. It's been documented in dozens of coins, investigated by the SEC, and yet, because of everything we talked about in the psychology section, people keep doing it. Now, let's contrast this with the Bitcoin rule. Bitcoin is categorically different from every meme coin in one fundamental way: fixed supply. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. Written in code, immutable. No developer can wake up tomorrow and decide to mint another billion of them. Compare that to meme coins, which routinely have supplies in the quadrillions and whose developers can, and often do, change the rules. Because of this fixed supply, Bitcoin behaves more like gold than like a speculative token. When the dollar inflates, when the government prints more money and your purchasing power quietly erodes, Bitcoin doesn't inflate alongside it. Its supply stays fixed while dollars multiply. That's the shield against inflation the wealthy are building. They're not trying to 10x, they're trying to preserve and grow purchasing power over a decade. Boring? Yes. Effective? Unquestionably. The math of boring is better than the math of exciting. Every time. Okay, now that I've probably made you feel a little sick looking at your portfolio, let me give you something real. Because here's the part the doom and gloom financial world doesn't want to admit. You don't need a 100x moonshot to get rich. I know that sounds absurd after everything we just talked about, but stay with me. What you need, what actually builds life-changing wealth, is something I call the shadow portfolio. The shadow portfolio is the wealth you build in the background, while you're living your life, while you're working your job, while you're not staring at charts and price alerts and Telegram groups promising the next 1000x gem. It's automatic, it's consistent, and it is brutally effective. Here's the concept I want you to understand. Mind the gap. The gap is the space between what you earn and what you spend. And your only job, financially speaking, is to widen that gap and direct that gap into proven, long-term, hard assets. Not meme coins, not the next hot altcoin your coworker told you about. Hard assets. Bitcoin. Low-cost total market index funds. Maybe real estate over time. Here's the math. And this is the math that will change your perspective permanently. Say you're 28 years old. You take $400 a month, money you were throwing at random altcoins, and you put it into Bitcoin instead. Just $400 every month, consistently. You don't try to mind the market, you don't panic sell, you just buy and hold. At a conservative average annual appreciation of 30%, Bitcoin's 10-year trailing average is significantly higher than that. You would have over $1 million in less than 15 years. Not from a miracle, not from getting lucky on a dogecoin, from $400 a month and patience. That is the shadow portfolio. That is real wealth. And it requires none of the sleepless nights, the panic, the dopamine spirals, or the catastrophic losses of meme coin gambling. The wealthy figured this out. They're not in Telegram groups at 2 a.m. They set the strategy, they automate the execution, and they go live their lives. That is the life you're actually trying to buy. And meme coins will never sell it to you. Let's make this real. Let's talk about what you actually do, starting today. Step 1. Audit your portfolio. Pull it up right now, or after this video. Look at every coin you're holding. For each one, ask yourself 3 questions. Do you understand what it's built for? Do I believe it has any utility beyond speculation? And would I buy it today at this price? If the answer to any of those is no, and for 95% of meme coins the answer to all 3 is no, you have your answer. Step 2, accept the suck. Selling a coin at a loss feels terrible, I know. Your brain will scream at you. Just hold a little longer, it might come back. That's the gambler's fallacy. That's the broke brain talking. Taking a controlled loss and redirecting that capital into something with actual long-term value is not a defeat, it is a pivot. It is the most rational, financially intelligent move you can make. The wealthy are not emotionally attached to their positions. They cut losers, they hold winners, and they never let ego determine their portfolio. Step 3. Automate the boring. Set up automatic recurring purchases of Bitcoin or a total market index fund. I use the phrase set it and forget it, but what I really mean is set it and go live your life. $50 a week, $200 a month, whatever your gap allows. The amount matters less than the consistency. Compound interest doesn't care if you're excited about your investment. It just needs time. And here's what you get on the other side of this decision. Wealth without burnout. Think about what that actually means. You don't need to spend 4 hours a day researching obscure altcoins. You don't need to sleep with your phone next to your face. You don't need to feel the gut punch of waking up to a 60% drop in your net worth. Real wealth is quiet. It doesn't ping you with notifications. It doesn't demand your constant attention. It grows while you sleep, while while you work, while you're present at your kids' birthdays instead of checking a price chart under the table. That's what you're building toward. Not the flashy screenshot, not the highlight reel, the quiet, compounding, irreversible accumulation of real value. Here's my ask. If this video made you look at your portfolio differently, if it made something click about why the 100x dream is actually the trap, do me a favor, subscribe, because the work doesn't stop here. Every week we go deeper into the psychology and the math of real wealth building. No hype, no shilling, no dog coins. Drop a comment below. Tell me, are you still holding something you know you should let go of? Because you're not alone, and the first step is just being honest about it. Drop the casino mentality, build the shadow portfolio, stay the course. The rat race ends when you stop playing the lottery and start playing the long game. I'll see you in the next one.